Our final story is about Relevant Radio and the wonderful job it's doing to bring God's Word to an extensive audience via the radio waves.
Relevant Radio had an impressive turnout at its annual spring luncheon at the Drury Lane Theater and Conference Center in Oak Brook Terrace. This year's luncheon was dedicated to grandparents and others who influence our lives.
Well, we're trying to support what Pope Francis has been saying about the family, in particular about love and veneration for our grandparents. So today the theme is bring someone who's been influential in your life, a grandparent, an elderly person, treat them to lunch and honor them. So we're really trying to stay right in tune with what Pope Francis has been saying.
Relevant Radio's mission statement is, in part, to help people bridge the gap between faith and everyday life. That phrase means a lot to both listeners and program hosts.
My big story is that one day I was driving, listening to the radio, and after being married for 10 years, I'm married 20 years now, for the first time I heard that my vocation in marriage meant that my job was to get my husband to heaven. Immediately, I think my life changed. Then the next day, I started living differently because I thought, well, if I have to get my husband to heaven, how am I going to do that? And now I probably have to get my kids to heaven too. So I thought, wow, I really need to learn more about my faith. And just with Relevant Radio, I learned so much.
I love radio because it's intimate. You're speaking to one person at a time, and they may be in their car, and some people told me, you're my companion on the commute. And so I love that intimacy. It's what John Paul II referred to as that delicate exchange of heart to heart and mind to mind. And I feel like radio does that. I really feel we can reach people heart to heart and mind to mind through a radio.
The luncheon included a blessing from Bishop Vipik, a testimonial from a listener, and a keynote address from Father Francis Hoffman, better known as Father Rocky.
It's been an extraordinary year for us in the past 12 months. We've expanded by 40% with new stations in New York City, reaching 16 million people, a new station in Milwaukee, which has a huge footprint, and then social media has really exploded through the platforms of Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, and our reach sometimes is over 10 million people a week through those little messaging. So we're tremendously blessed, and couldn't do it without the intercession of St. Joseph and Our Lady and so many of our wonderful associates working there, and the encouragement of the bishops and the generosity of our supporters.
A reminder to all our viewers that you can listen to Relevant Radio 24/7 in the Chicago area on 9:50 a.m., in the far western suburbs on 9:30 a.m., and 1270 a.m. in the Gary, Indiana area.